These are remaining numericals of chapter laws of motion. A batsman deflects a ball by an angle of 45 degree. So this is how the ball is coming. So this is u. Make it. This is u, initial velocity. It will have two components, one along x-axis and one along y-axis. So let us see further. It deflects the ball by 45 degree without changing its initial speed. So please take initial speed is u. He deflects the ball by 45 degrees. So this is an angle of 45 degree. And the ball goes like this. This is final velocity without changing the speed, means v is also u. So this is the how the ball goes. So this purple line is how ball goes. So you make it again. Two components. See, let me draw it again. Purple is how the ball goes back after being hit by the batsman. So this is final velocity, but it is equal to initial velocity. Numerical value is same. Okay. Initial velocity is given as 54, that we will take later on. What is the impulse imparted to the ball? So we'll take two components. One is along x-axis, one is along y-axis. Fine. So this is 45 degree. I am drawing the angle bisector. So upper angle will be of 22.5 half and lower angle will also be 22.5. So show it here 22.5. Similarly show it here. Where is the angle? So this is how it is coming. Right, I am drawing a line parallel. If this is 22.5, this will be 22.5. So basically this is 22.5. Let us see this once again. This was a bat. The ball came like this. Okay, and it went like this. So please draw these two arrows, one and the other one is this. This is v, which is equal to u. This is u. One component, second component. Similarly, x component, y component. Then the labeling. This is ux. This is uy. This is vx. This is vy. Okay, now coming to the angle. This is 22.5. This is 22.5. So this we can see here. This is 22.5. And here, this angle, it will be equal to this alternating angle. So basically, this angle is 22.5. Fine. After that, this is v. So this along theta component will be v cos theta. And this will be v sin theta. Similarly, this will be u cos theta. And this will be u sin theta. Now coming to the sign we have to put. After this, we will be putting signatures. Okay? This is negative x-axis. So this is this negative. This is positive x-axis. So this is positive. This is negative y-axis. So this is negative. This is negative y-axis. So this is negative. Now I am writing all the things together. Ux I need, uy I need, vx I need, and vy I need with sign. Equal to, equal to, equal to, equal to. Now I'll write the components with sign. So just check. This is positive u cos theta. This is minus v cos theta. This is minus u sin theta. And this is minus u, matlab v sin theta. Now v is equal to u that they have given. The number is not changed. So please change. Ux is u cos theta, no change. Uy is minus u sin theta, no change. Vx and vy, in place of v I am making u and u. So it's minus u cos theta and this is minus u sin theta. So you can see here final velocity and initial velocity along y-axis same. So there is no change in momentum along y-axis. No impulse along y-axis because velocity remains same. Final and initial. So no change in momentum along y-axis. But along x-axis impulse along x-axis will be change in momentum along x-axis. Change in momentum along x-axis. So it's mvx minus mux. Substitute m common. What is vx? This is minus u cos theta. and this is m common, this is u cos theta with sign. So it's basically minus 2m u cos theta. Now m is there. They have given mass, they have given initial velocity, which is 54 km per hour. You convert into meter per second. Then cos of 22.5. That you can see from trigonometry table. The absolute approximate value is 0.9. Cos 22.5 is 0.9. U is given 54 km per hour or change into meter per second. Mass is also given. Substitute. You will get the impulse along x-axis. Let us see this question. A stone of mass 0.25. So mass is given 0.25 kg. Kg is okay. Length of the string is given as, the radius of the circle is given as 1.5 meter. It is given 40 revolution per minute. So this is basically frequency. Do not denote it by speed. It's frequency. 40 revolutions per minute. So we'll convert into second. 40 by 60 revolution per second. Revolution per second is hertz. So this is okay. SI unit now. So frequency I'm ready with is this much. What is the tension in the string? So tension is measured by the centripetal force. Okay. So centripetal force is your mv square by r. Mass is given. How much is the mass? You can see it's this. And r is this. Radius is this. 0.25 kg and 1.5 meter. You can substitute. 0.25 kg and radius is 1.5 meter, I guess. Yes. Substituted. M substituted. R substituted. Velocity can be written as, see, you know the relationship between linear velocity and angular velocity. We have derived already. V is equal to r omega. Substitute here. R omega substituted. So tension is equal to 0.25. Mathematics you do on your own. Radius is again 1.5. Sorry, it is V square. Right, so it will be square. And now omega square. So if I know omega, my question is done. So what is omega? Omega is your theta by t, angle by time. So angle in one full revolution is 2 pi, right? And time is time period. Now it can be written as 2 pi into 1 by t. Reciprocal of time is frequency. We have frequency, right? Frequency we have as 40 by 60. So please substitute 2 and pi and 40 by 60. Calculate it and substitute here. You will get tension in newtons. Tension in newtons would be done. So one more part is there of this question. Let us see what is that. What is the maximum speed with which the stone can be whirled around the string if it can withstand maximum tension of this? So second part of the question is maximum tension is given as 200 Newton. We have to find out maximum speed. So it is simple. Tension is again equal to centripetal force. So 200 is equal to mv square by r. R is length of the string which is given, mass is given, everything is given, V can be found. Yeah, R into 200 by m substitute, velocity can be found. Okay, once you have found out velocity, you can find omega also if you wish, because V can be open as this and R is given. So you can report either omega or velocity, it is okay. If you are reporting V, you can report in meter per second. If you are reporting omega, omega will be reported in radian per second. Once you have obtained omega, if you wish, you can find out 2 pi nu. Omega can be opened as 2 pi nu. Nu also you can report. Okay, this much revolution per second. So whichever way you can report V or omega or nu. Getting to the next question. Please take your answers with NCERT book. Let us see this question. This is some graph, position time graph. Okay, mass is given. We have to tell a suitable physical context. So because the graph is of this nature, it is being repetitive. So that means the one example can be a ball is striking against two walls repeatedly. A ball is like going towards one wall and then rebounding, going to the next ball, then rebounding. So it is being repeated that way. So this is one example. what is the time between two consecutive impulses? So you can see here the direction is changing every time after every 2 seconds. Direction is change of the ball by after every 2 seconds. So what is the time between two successive impulses? 2 seconds. So one answer I've given, one physical example. Second, 2 seconds. What is the now? What is the magnitude of each impulse? So we already know that impulse is calculated by change in momentum, that is m v minus u. So okay, just learn how to find out v and how to find out u. So for example, let us see, this is 2. So before velocity is this, that is u. So how to find out this velocity? Perpendicular by time, perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is 2 and base is 2. So 2 by 2 कितना हो गया? It's 1. So this is initial velocity, right? So m, initial velocity is 1. Let us see what is final velocity. Final velocity will be found, see, before 2, this was the graph which I have talked about, perpendicular base, I know the velocity. Now let us find out the slope of next graph, this one. So perpendicular here is again 2 and base is 4 minus 2, 2. So 2 by 2 is 1, but this time direction is changed. Okay, graph was going up, graph is coming down, so direction is changed. So velocity here is minus 1. So minus 1 minus 2m. Mass you can substitute, mass is this. Just substitute the mass. And it is minus 2 into 0.04. So it is 0.08 kg meter per second. This is the impulse. Just keep it in mind that the velocity here is given by perpendicular by base. This was 2, this was this is velocity, but this is initial velocity. And then graph is like this. So it is fine. Here the slope will be giving you final velocity perpendicular base. Value is same but direction is opposite, so it will be taken with negative sign. Final velocity substituted here, initial velocity substituted here. Minus was already there in between, so answer is found. Let's see this question. This figure shows a man standing stationary with respect to a horizontal conveyor. So this belt is accelerating with 1 meter per second square. What is the net force? Mass of the man is this. So net force is simply m into a, 65, and acceleration is, you can see this, 1 meter per second square, so 65 Newton. If the coefficient of friction is 0.2, so coefficient of friction is denoted by mu, it's 0.2. Okay, up to what acceleration? So up to which value of acceleration? The maximum acceleration they're asking. Up to what acceleration can the man continue to be stationary? So you know it, that force is equal to mu r, normal reaction. So as long as force is equal to, let me do it again, force is equal to frictional force, so it will be stationary. Okay, so frictional force can be opened as mu into r, and this can be opened as ma, mass into a max, acceleration max, mu, this r is opened as mg, you know it from this diagram. This is r, this is mg, this is applied, this is frictional. So F is equal to F, R is equal to mg, mm cancelled. So maximum acceleration can be calculated by mu, which is given as 0.2, and g you can take 10 if they allow, or 9.8. So maximum acceleration is coming as 2 meter per second square. Up to this acceleration it will remain stationary. Let us see this question. Question number 26. A stone of mass m is tied to the string and moved in vertical circle of radius r. Net force at highest and lowest point are, so you can see if it is at highest point, weight is acting like this and thread is also like this, so tension is also this side, so it is T plus mg. At highest point it should be tension plus mg, which is correct. Now at the lowest point weight would be like this, and thread will be like this, thread means tension, so it will be centripetal force will be equal to T minus mg, or you can say at lowest point This is your weight, it is mg. Tension would be like this. Okay, so they are in opposite direction, so it can be written as mg minus t also. So this first option is correct at lowest point this and highest point this. Okay, so the first option is only correct. Let's see this. A helicopter of mass 1000 kg. So mass of helicopter is given to you. Mass of helicopter is given. Acceleration is given. Vertical acceleration. And crew and the passenger. Mass of crew and passenger is also given 300 kg. Give the magnitude and direction of force on the floor by the crew and the passenger. So first part, force will be, you will take mass of crew and passenger only and into acceleration. See, it is same as the case of elevator, the way we do. It is going up and a helicopter is rising, going up. So apparent weight, same way, simple. Like we tell, R is equal to, when we go up, then weight is increased by this factor. Simple. In case of elevator, the apparent weight is given as weight plus ma. Same way you can tell here. The first part, the force would be equal to mass. Which mass you will take? Only a crew and passenger, g plus a. Just substitute mass of crew and passenger as 300, g as 10, and acceleration what they have given. Acceleration they have given as 15. Substitute. This is 10, this is 15, 10 plus 15, and mass of crew and the passenger you will substitute here and report the answer in newtons. Now coming to the next. Next is the action of the rotor of the helicopter on the surrounding air. So now you will take same formula, that is weight plus ma. Okay, weight plus something being added, like the case of elevator, but then this time you will have to take total mass, यानी कि mass of helicopter plus crew and passenger. Helicopter's mass is 1000, and this is 3 whatever, it's 300. Crew and passengers you will take both, 1300 into g plus a. Okay, and this force is downwards. Okay, then we have to tell the force of helicopter on the helicopter due to the surrounding air. This is of the helicopter on surrounding air, so this is action, and this will be equal to the reaction force. So answer would be same, only direction will be opposite. Answer would be same of third part, this, but direction would be opposite. You will simply write direction will be opposite because that is reactional force. Let's see next. Let's say this. A stream of water flowing horizontally with a speed of, so speed is given as 15 meter per second. Cross-sectional area of the tube is given as, 10 to the power minus 2. Let us denote it by capital A. 10 to the power minus 2 meter square. Hits a vertical wall nearby. What is the force? Assuming it does not rebound means final velocity is 0. ठीक है? So this is initial velocity. So we have to find out force. Force will be equal to ma. So force will be equal to mass v minus u by t. Fine. Final velocity we have taken 0 because they are saying it doesn't rebound. It means it comes to rest. So it is minus mu by t. Fine. Mass, initial velocity is given, right? Initial velocity 15. And time we don't know. See, now we don't know mass in this question. So what would we do? We'll write mass as volume into density of water into 15 by time. So we should know that the density of water is, everyone should know, it's 1000 kg per meter cube. So density non-sorted. So force is equal to, volume can be written as area into distance. Area into distance. Density is 1000. This is u is 15 and this is time. Now distance by time is velocity again, initial wala velocity. So its area is given minus 10 to the power minus 2. This is my time is velocity. Velocity is again 15. So it is 1000 into 15. So you can find out the answer. 15, 15, 225. And this is 10. 2250 Newton minus this is the force. So we have made use of density of water in this question. So getting to this question, 10 1 rupee coins are on top of each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 1 rupee coins counted from bottom. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fine. We have to find the force on 7th. Force on 7th. So you can see how many coins are above it. 8, 9, 10. So 3 mg. They all three will exert their force, exert their weight. So this is force on 7th, 3 mg downwards. What is the force on 7th by 8th? Force on 7th by 8th. Now see, on 8th already these two are exerting their weight, 9, 10, 10th. And 8th will also exert its weight on 7th. So again it is 3 mg down. Okay, now reaction force of 6 on 7th. Reaction force of 6 on 7th. So action and reaction are equal and opposite. So you just see that how much force is there on 6th by 7th. On 6th by 7th. So 7th will give its weight and whatever weights are there on 7th. 7th coin will exert its weight, yani ki mg, and the 3 coins above it, so 4 mg. So action and reaction is equal and opposite, so 4 mg opposite to it. Reaction will be upward. 7th is exerting its weight and rest 3, 8, 9, 10th wala weight together, mg and 3 mg, 4 mg on 6. So 6 is giving reaction equal but opposite, so it will be upward. So let us see the next question. Getting to this question, so you can see here there are two situations. In this first figure, the man is pulling the block directly. We have to tell which mode should be used. Okay, and floor should not yield, and as in full floor should not give up. The maximum flow force that floor can afford is this. If the force will go beyond 700 Newton, the floor will yield, give up. So in first case, you can see he is lifting it up. So when it is being lifted up, so you know the apparent weight increases in this case, then a factor of ma. Fine. So here you can see this is 25 and man's weight is 50. So you can add both. 50 plus 25. Okay, wait. Differently here you can take 50 and then g, and you can take 25 and here you can take g. So it's 75g. Now 75 into 10, that is 750. So in first case, the force is going beyond 700. So in first case, the floor may yield. The floor will yield. So first case should not be adopted. In first case, the force applied is upward. So in this case, your reaction force would be like more than the weight. So mg plus the other factor, and second AA is also g here. No acceleration is given. So you can take it man's weight into g and the weight of block into g. Now let us see in second case. In second case, the force is downward. So you know in case of moving downward what happens. Normal reaction is less than the weight. Whichever is higher, you keep that first and then small mg. So man's weight first, which is 50, I think, yeah. 50 into g minus 25 into g. So here it is 25g, that is 252, it is less than 700. So this is safer method, so you can use this. So this is also same sort of question. Monkey's mass is 40 kg and the rope can withstand a maximum tension of 600 Newton. Like in previous question, the floor can withstand a force of 700 Newton, otherwise it will yield. In which case the rope will break. So it is climbing up. So even you go up, then that case reaction force is more than the weight by a factor of ma. If a is given, it's okay. Otherwise, you can take g. So right now, mass is 40 into g. Then again, second mass is also 40. And what is a? Acceleration is given. So you can calculate this. This is 400 and this is 240. This is 640. So yes, here it will break. First case it will break. Then it is climbing down. When it goes down, then weight decreases. So please substitute values m and g, m and a. A is 4. Then up with uniform speed. Uniform speed means acceleration is 0. Whenever it is uniform speed, then the apparent weight would remain as actual weight. Then free fall means, though you know, it is weightless. So in free fall, it is weightless. Then there is no problem to the rope. Whenever it climbs up, weight increases by ma. But here speed is uniform, so acceleration is 0, so it will be same as actual weight. So m is 40 into 10, it is 400. 400 is less than 600, so it will not break. Here also it will not break because it is 400 minus something. 40 into acceleration, which is 4. Right, here it is less than 600, here it is more than 600, here it will break in A. Let's see this question. In this question, there are two bodies, 5 kg and 10 kg. You can see this is 5, this is 10. Coefficient of friction is given. Coefficient of friction, that is mu, is given 0.15. This is applied force. Force applied is 200 Newton. What is the reaction of the partition? See, now reaction of the partition will be force applied minus this friction force. Okay, so the reaction of the partition will be force applied minus force of friction. This will be reaction of partition, first part. So force applied is 200 and this will be frictional force of 1 and frictional force of 2. This will be the reaction. So 200 minus this will be mu into R1 and this will be mu into R2. Two reactions of two bodies, right? So 200. Now mu is given to you as 0.15, I guess. Yeah, 0.15. And this first reaction will be M1 into G and second reaction will be again mu as this and second reaction will be M2 into G. You can subtract, you will get it reaction. Okay? See, we know this free body diagram already. This is reaction and it is equal to Mg. So both the R1 and R2 we will open as M1 into G and M2 into G. You subtract and multiply. This will be the first answer. Then let us see what is the next question. The action reaction forces between A and B. Action reaction forces between A and B. So, action reaction forces between A and B. So, you can see force applied is 200. And now you talk about friction by A. How much friction A will offer? Mu into R1. That is mu into M1 into G. So, you can substitute mu. M1 is first is 5 and G is 10. That's 15 by 100 into 5 into 10. 5 2s are 10. 15 to it's 7.5. Here this is the friction. So you can force exerted by A on B. Okay, that will be equal to applied force minus friction force of A. So it is 200 minus 7.5. So what it will be? It will be 192.5. So this is force on B by A. A will exert a force this side. ठीक है. So this is force on B by A, and force on A by B, which is a reactional force, which will be this side and equal in magnitude. So this is how I have found second part. How much force A will exert on B, so that will be force applied minus this frictional force. Friction please open as mu r, and r you open as mg. It is that simple. So getting to the next part of the question, they have asked what happens when wall is removed. So let us see. See, there are two bodies, 10 kg and 20 kg. Sorry, 5 kg and 10 kg. Okay, so we have to tell what happens when wall is removed. So when wall is removed, first of all, your applied force is 200. Okay, and friction of 1 and friction of 2 we can be ready with. Friction of 1 I have already found as 7.5 Newton. Let us find out friction of 2 also, which is mu into R2, which is mu into M2G. It is that simple. It is mu is this, mass 2 is 10, this is also 10, so it is 15. This is second friction. We can find sum up both the frictions. So net friction is equal to 7.5 plus 15, that is 22.5. So what is the net force? Force applied minus force of friction, this is F net. Okay, which is 200 minus 22.5. It is F net. So what is 200 minus 22.5? So this will be net force. Net force would be, you can subtract these two. 200 minus 22.5. It will be 177.5. It is equal to F net. Now F net can be opened as both the masses into A. So 177.5. Now both the masses are 10 and 5, that is 15, and A. So acceleration would be 177.5 divided by 15. 15 ones are 15. 15 ones are 15. And then 2. So it is 11.5 meter per second square. So if the wall is removed, then both the bodies will move with this acceleration. Both bodies would move with this acceleration. Okay, they have asked what will happen if the partition, that wall is removed. So this they will move with this acceleration. Now how much force is required to move A? That will be mass of A into A. Mass of A is 5 and acceleration is this. So you can multiply 525, 5 and the 5, 7 and 5. This is the force required to move A. So how much force will be transferred on B by A? Okay, so that will be your total force was coming as 177.5. Force on B by A, how much force will be transferred to B? See, net force was 200. We would subtract frictional force of 1, and then we would subtract how much is used in motion. So 200 frictional force was, if you remember, it was 7.5, and then you can subtract this. This is force on B by A, and same will be force on A by B. It will come approximately 133 point something. So this is the force on B by A. See, try and understand this question in brief. Two bodies were there of mass 5 kg and 10 kg, and a force of 200 Newton was applied. So what is the net force on partition? 200 minus friction of both. And friction is found like this, mu r. R is found as mg. Simple. Find out friction of first. Multiply mu m1 and g. Friction of second. Mu m2 and g. Add up both the friction and subtract from 200. That is the first part. Okay. And in second part, just subtract the friction of this. That will be the force on B by A and same force on A by B, just opposite direction. And when, this is first part, this is second part. And when you remove the partition, when partition is not there, then they will move. And this will be the acceleration. Acceleration will be found like this. Find out the acceleration. See, I have done force applied is 200 and I am subtracting both the friction. This is my net force. Net force are equated equal to mass of both into A. Acceleration is found. Now after finding the acceleration, how much acceleration is this? This is the acceleration. Then how much force is required to move A? Mass of A into A, acceleration. So that I have substituted. This is the force required. Now what is the force on B by A when the partition is removed? This is net. This is first friction and how much is required to move it. How much will be remaining? This is the force exerted on B by A and same will be on A by B, that is the reactional force. Let's see this question. A block of mass 15 kg, mass 15, coefficient of friction, this is mu, acceleration, time, start from that, so u is 0. We have to find out, discuss the motion. So see, what will be the force on the block? MA. Mass of the block is 15, you can see here, and A is this. 15 into 0.5, 7.5 in the direction of motion of trolley. Now what is the friction between the block and the floor? Mu r. R is open as mg. Okay, friction will be opposite. So what is friction? Let us see what is the value of mu. Mu is this 0.18, substitute 0.18. Mass is already 15 and g's we will take as 10. So it is 18 by 100 into 15 into 10. 5 3s are 5 2s are 2 9s are 9 0 27. This is friction. Friction is this way and this is external force. Force on the block. So who's more? Friction is more. Friction is more than the force on the block, which is trying to move. Right, the friction is more, the block will be stationary. To the observer, outside or inside the trolley, doesn't matter, force will be like, block will be stationary. The rear side of a truck is open and a box of 40 kg. Mass of box is 40 kg. It is placed 5 meter. This is 5 meter, right? From the open end of the truck. The distance is 5 meter. Coefficient of friction is given 0.15. Acha, this is acceleration of the truck. A truck. Acceleration of the truck is 2 meter per second square. You have to find out at what distance from the starting point does the box fall off the truck. Okay, the box will fall off, and what is the distance covered by the truck? In that we have to find out that distance. So see, what is the force on block due to truck, due to motion of the truck? So it is MA, mass of block into acceleration of the truck. So 40 is mass and truck's acceleration in this. So this is a force on the block, this side. Now what is the friction that is holding the block? So frictional forces, your mu r simple, mu into mg. Mu is 0.15. Mass we have just used 40 and g is 10. So please solve It's 15 by 100 into 40 into 10, so 0 0 cancelled, so it's 60. Friction is 60 and it is opposite this side, arrow you put. So what is the net force? You can see 80 this side, which is pushing the block this side, and friction this side, which is 60. So 80 minus 60 is 20 this side. So your net force is that side, so obviously the box will fall. So net force is 20. So what is the acceleration? This acceleration is of block. Please write A block. So mass block is 40. So A block, acceleration block will be obtained as 1 by 2, 20 by 40, right? Acceleration on the block would be 20 by 40, that is 1 by 2 meter per second square. Acceleration on the block is ready. Now in how much time will it fall? So we'll use second equation of motion, but we are using for block. So this is A block and distance by block and initial velocity of block. See, initial velocity is 0. It was at rest. So this portion is at rest. This is half. Acceleration is also half. Time we need to find out, and distance is 5. 5 meter you have to cover. The box has to cover only 5 meter to fall off the truck. So 5 is equal to 5 into 4 will be 20. So time square is equal to 20 and time would be root 20. So it will be 2 root 5. So it will be 4 point something. Okay, let it be 4. Time is 4 seconds approx. In this time it will fall. Now in this time, how much far the truck will go? Distance by truck is equal to u into t. This is half a of truck into t square. So distance of truck we have to calculate. This initial velocity will take 0. Half acceleration of the truck we will use, that you see in the beginning of the question, it is 2. And time is 4 square. So 2 cancel, approximately 16 meters. So just be very particular that here we have taken acceleration of the truck. When you find out how far the truck has gone since the box has fallen, so time will be what we have obtained here, and it will be something 4 point more than that, 4.46 or something, if you wish to keep accurate, or you can take 4.5. So time you take that. Now initial velocity is 0, truck started from rest. Here acceleration of the truck is taken. Do not take acceleration of the box. Then time you can substitute here 4.5. It will come 16 or more than 16. Okay? And when I am using this second equation for box, then it is acceleration of the box. This is 5 meter. If the box will travel, it will fall down. Initial velocity of the box is 0. So this is the time taken. So this is how I have solved. So let us see the last question of the video. A disk revolves with a speed of this RPM. RPM means revolution per minute. So what is this? Is a frequency. Don't write it as speed. They will write it as speed, but then you write it as frequency. 33 1 by 3 revolution per minute. So it is 99, that is 100 by 3 revolution per minute. So we'll write it as revolution per second. How to write with revolution per second? We will divide by 60. So this is your revolution per second, that is hertz. So now it is 0 0 cancel. 10 by 18 hertz. Frequency we are ready with. We have frequency, so we can find out omega. We have done such a question. Omega is 2 pi nu, that is angular speed. So it is 2 into pi into frequency. Now we have angular frequency, so we can find out linear velocity. We have angular velocity, so we can find out linear velocity. Linear velocity is omega, which is omega is this. Write down 2, 3.14, 10 by 18, and radius. Radius we will see what is radius. Now there are 2 coins which are placed on the disc at 4 cm, 14 cm away from the center of the record. One is here and one is here. If the coefficient of friction is 0.15, which of the two coin will keep revolving? So coefficient of friction is 0.15, so it is same. Which will keep revolving? For whom friction is greater than or equal to centripetal force. If friction is more, that will keep revolving, that is common sense. If friction is less, that coin will fall off. There is a record. One coin is here, one coin is here. Which will keep revolving? So to revolve, friction should be more than or at least equal to. Friction is open as mu r. Centripetal force is open as mv square by r. See, not this r. Here radius comes. This is radius. And this r is normal reaction. Don't take them same. And this normal reaction is open as mg greater than equal to mv square by radius. Strictly mm cancel. Mu is 0.15. G is 10. Greater than equal to v square. I told you it is equal to omega r. So 0.15 into 10 greater than equal to omega square r square by r. 1r cancelled. So it is 0.15 into 10 greater than equal to omega square r. Now what is the formula of omega? Omega is 2 pi nu square into r. So it is, so you can write, open this. So it will be 1.5 greater than equal to 2 ka square 4 pi square nu square into r. This is 1.5 greater than equal to 4 pi square. We take 10. Nu was, it was I think 10 by 18. You can see here nu is 10 by 18. Let us substitute. Nu is 10 by 18 into 10 by 18. This is r. Now you can solve it. It is 15 by 10. Here the r should be less than equal to, every term is going this side. 15 by 10, 18 up, 10 down, and then 10 down, and then 4 down. So this is it. Now you can solve. 2 9s are 2 5s are 5 3s are. Similarly, 2 9s are 2 5s are. Then I think that's all. Now 3 into 9 into 9 divided by 5 into 10 into 10 into 4. You solve it and check what is the value. So you can see this is coming as this much. I have divided, I have seen. So this is in meters. So convert that into centimeter. You will get the radius should be less than or equal to 12 centimeter. For the coin not to fall down, radius should be less than or equal to 12 centimeter. Now which radius is less than 12 centimeter? The one which is kept at 4 centimeter, the one which is kept at 14. So obviously this is less than 12. So this 4 wala will keep on revolving with the disc and it will fall off, because for it friction would be less. Prepare these numericals.